welcome. Happy Friday to everyone. December the 15th of 2023. Welcome. This is a reading for basically it is let's see. The new moon in Virgo, trust all will be well. So we have that. Plus we have another one is new moon in Scorpio, go deeper. So we have a dilemma between a Virgo and a Scorpio. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you about my frustration. I'm not frustrated about all of you. No, I'm not. But this is how frustrated I am. Okay. When you have a, if you are a caregiver, if you are a parent, if you're a grandparent, if you are a child or young adult, whatever it is, and a person gets to start nagging on you. Nagging is a negative feeling and a negative way of how it is. I'm going to explain about the tarot way, the oracle way, the playing cards, everything else. Because in the way of how I'm going to say this pretty good is that whenever you get nagging, it's a negative feeling. It really is because it happens, and I've been there, done that so many times about being nagged from friends, from family members, and I get a chance where people start to push my buttons, which means you get angry, you get upset, you get overwhelmed, right? And it's hard for a lot of things are going through my own way. And when it seems to be that, you have to encourage yourself to do something rather than doing nothing at all, right? And the funny thing is that when I'm trying to get independence and do whatever I want to do, that's fine. But when you get nagging and nagging and nagging and pressuring and all that jazz, it's basically very ridiculous on how it goes. So, in the words I would say, but I don't want to say it because, there's could be bad language and I don't know who's watching. But, I think in my own mind that this is a very significant reading. And, this reading will get started as long as it needs to. But overall, it has to stop. And I think in my own mind that we need to believe in our own way of how it is. It's you have to accept, you have to acknowledge, you have to remember. And that's how it seems to be. Because yes, when you get nagged a lot and if you just do whatever, it gets your emotions switching from happy, sad to pissed off, which means getting angry. And that's how it is. And it's overwhelming. It's you know, it's bad. So, this is how it seems to be. So, we're going to get started of how the cards are. Remember, if this resonates to all of you, I hope it will. And enjoy this fantastic reading on how I'm upset between a Scorpio and a Virgo. Okay? If you're a Scorpio, you're like me. If you are a Virgo, you could be a parent, a guardian, whatever. But that's how it seems to be. And I am drinking my eggnog as well. It's very good actually. Helps you kind of have memorization. But that's how it is. So this is how a reading goes, and I hope that all of you will enjoy it. Give it a comment, give it a like if you want. And let's get started. Let's get started. So I already shuffled all the cards, and we're going to look at a reading like this. It's going to be like a different reading, but this is for Scorpio and Virgo. Okay, so here we go. Let's start at the basics. Let's start from the Scorpio side. Let's start at the Virgo side. If you don't see, these are the cards I'm talking about. Okay, that's the Virgo here. and this is a Scorpio over here. So you don't see the cards yet, but you will eventually, how it is, okay? So this is how it seems to be. Scorpio has two pentacles upright, and Virgo has the Eight of Swords reversed. Now this is very significant, okay? The two pentacles is where you're with somebody, you're having a good time of your life, that's fine. But the Eight of Swords reversed, it's a different whelming position, right? Eight of Swords could be you could get hurt, but now you're not feeling hurt, right? And it's timings where that is. Now, a Scorpio is between that way. It's the way of how it seems to be. And it's very promising of how it goes because the way of how it seems to be, exactly that direction because from that perspective. So if you have two pentacles in your chart, Scorpio, you have, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in your chart. So this is how it seems to be. So Virgo's on the right side and Scorpio's on my left side. Okay. Now let's see what's the opposite of the Eight of Swords for Virgo. The Five of Swords is upright. See, this is why there's conflict, that you believe in that system. So, when you have conflict with somebody's Virgo, you can be nagging. Nagging is a key where you have to believe that you can do it, but nagging is a negative feeling as it is, right? So, you have to remember that you have to stay positive as much as you can, and it hurts. It hurts for individuals, right? And you have to believe about that. Now, what's the opposite of the two pentacles for Scorpio? Ah, the King of Cups reversed. Yeah, see, you were the king, but now you're now. Now you're not because you're gonna step down. Now you're thinking, okay, well, this is kind of sucks. It seems to be very, very interesting of how it goes. Yes, it is. But now you start to figure that out. Now you know that there's something wrong, right? Now you know that there's something wrong in this picture. Now we believe about that. Now, here's the thing that I'm trying to dignify or clarify. I love that word, clarify, because we're going to figure this out. We're going to figure out what's happening between the Scorpio and Virgo on why they're not getting along. And by all means, that this is between a way of how conflict goes, right? If you're getting nagged, if you're telling them what to do, if you are commanding them, if you're having advice or suggestions or what have you. And if someone's procrastinating, let them be, right? This is how it seems to be. Now, this video can go from a good way to all my viewers if they like it or not. But this could help you as well if you had the same thing. Okay? Now, let's let's figure this out. Let's figure uh, what's happening for Scorpio. What's the opposite of the King of Cups reversed? Let's clarify. All right, so we have that. Now let's see. We have the Queen of Cups reversed. Yeah, see. So now when you're not the father and mother anymore in this situation for Scorpio, it's basically where you're independent. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, clarifying the Five of Swords for Virgo, it's a different concept about that, okay? Now, concept is what concept does. It's a meaningful way of how this is, right? We have to have our own way to step down and do what we can. But eventually how it goes. So now we're going to figure out what's the opposite of the Five of Swords for Virgo. The Tower. So now you have chaos. Okay, okay, Virgo, you have chaos, which means you have everything that is going downhill. Okay? Now, speaking about going downhill, there's lots of things that are going on right now, right? This is a time of the year where everything can be difficult right now. Difficult is a very, very good word to say because, in other words, when you think about being nagged and having commandments and telling them what to do and blah blah blah, it's basically very bad, you know. When you're telling someone what to do, if you're commanding them what to do, if you are stressing them out, if you are overwhelmed, you know how you can nagging that person. And when you're nagging at that person, it's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very bad. I have been there so many times, right? And if you're with family, if you're with relatives, if you're with your grandparents, if you're with your uncles, aunties, whatever it is, they can feel, they could tell you what to do. But if they keep doing it and doing it, then you're doing it, then you know what's happening, right? It has to, gotta stop. So you understand the concept. You understand that way of how this is. This has to be a significant way of how it goes. If there's a will, there's always a way, isn't it? Yeah. And this is true. Now we get to the point where what's between a Scorpio and a Virgo. If you're in this way of how it is, you know how it goes. Because this is not over. Let's continue. Let's continue. So, this is how it seems to be. Now we're going to go back and forth between a Scorpio and Virgo, okay? Now so we already been to the Virgo side, now we're going to go back to the Scorpio side. Remember, Scorpio's on the left and Virgo's on the right. Now, we know about that. Now we have to figure out what's happening. And I already shuffled these cards as well over here. So we have that card and we have this card. So on the left side we have the Eight of Air, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Ah, exactly. Scorpio, if you have an air sign in your chart, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, you have that, right? So you're being trapped, you have a lack of self-confidence. Um, so you have that, and then you have afraid to take action. Exactly. Now we know what the Virgo side is. Virgo is nine of air, is expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Exactly. See, see, Virgo, whenever you decide about having this chaos situation between a Scorpio and yourself, you have to act together. You have to acting like there's something wrong to this picture. Okay? Now, whether it is bad or good, you have to give it for goodness sakes. Okay? Expecting the worst outcome there is. Expecting where you have sleepless nights and you don't know what to do. Face your own facts, face your own fears, face your own ability, right? Because if you're Virgo and you can hear it and you can believe, if you like to give this a like or a comment, whatever, and this happens to you, you have to believe that you can understand what's happening. Okay? I know I'm making this video for my fans out there who enjoy this, but if you are being manipulative, if you decide about having negativity. You have to remember to back off. You have to believe that you can get this through. Get this through your mind, get this through ability, right? Get it through your own sensitivity. So there we go for that one. Now we're going to go back to the Eight of Air between Scorpio. So now we have that situation, okay? Now we know exactly, but we don't know what the bottom is here. We don't know exactly, right? Because we have the oracle cards that we're going to add, we have everything else, and the playing cards and all that. So now we know about that. Now we know, okay, well, there's something situated with this. So now we're going to figure out the way of how it seems to be. Now we know. Now, I can read an oracle card. I can easily do that, but I already shuffled this oracle cards, these ones over here, and these ones that you will depend about seeing. Now, the bottom of the card that we're going to look at between the oracle card for Scorpio and the oracle card for Virgo, because we're going to look at that. So this one on the left side, you have the 21 is stuck in the mud. Aha. Now that's a good one for you. And this one for Virgo is Golden Palace for number 23. See? Now the Golden Palace could go first because that's in the book if I can read it, or and then after is 24 is Stuck in the Mud. So you know about this, right? You know how significant this is. It's a way of how you can feel, the way how you act. But this is unnecessary. Unnecessary of how it goes sometimes, how you can believe that. Now, oh, so let's see. Let's see for number 24 for Scorpio. I can read a little bit, but not very much. Alright, so stuck in the mud. You're being invited to stop and savor the wonder of your life. Okay, so that's what it says. So an upright card, that seems to be. Now, I'm not going to do the reverse. But it says this. Here we go. Being stuck is sometimes the only way to trick yourself into slowing down and looking around you. In fact, this is a sign that you need to shift your focus away from what you're doing. Place your attention elsewhere. Struggling will only get you to even muddier places. Now, it is not the time to move forward, but to observe. Clarity about your circumstances will come a little later. Stop and find the joy in what you have been overlooking. Soon you'll be out of the mud, but for now, be still and know that Spirit has a plan for you. So this is how it seems to be for that one, for you, Scorpio. You know, the best of times where, yes, there are times, you know, it seems to be that. Okay, it's the way of how you can believe that you can do this as long as you need to. Like it's furthermore about that, okay? Because in other words, let me try to explain about myself, my viewers. When you get stuck in a situation and it keeps going like a routine all the time, it's actually pathetic, okay? Because, in other words, if you are, a lack of self-confidence, if you afraid to take action, you know, it's very significant that you have to go slow. Slow and steady wins the race. Isn't that clear? Yes. But, whether you are having conflict with your family members, a caretaker, everything that you can think of. That's the worst, expecting the worst situation, right? But see, in other words, if there are times where everything is very all, crappy or whatever, you have to take it as a wonderful grain of salt. You know, It's times where you have to believe that you can do it. Believing is one way, believing is the other. But there are times where whenever you're upset with something, if there's something bothering you, if there's something that there's something wrong to a situation, I would personally procrastinate. Procrastinating is a wonderful way to get someone's attention because in other words, you understand that feeling, that gut feeling that there's something isn't working. There are times where you need to back off. There are times where you have to believe that you can do it. But there is a way that you can understand how it is. It's like being in a box. You're in a box, but you're afraid to get out of the box. You know what I mean? It's like being scared into the dark, but if you turn the light on, there's nothing there, right? That's what I'm saying. You need to get out of your comfort zone. You do what's right instead of the wrong. This is how it seems to be. This is how I'm going to believe about how it is, Scorpio. You know what's right, you know how you can do it. So let's keep going with this reading. So this is how it seems to be. So now the Golden Palace for Virgo. Yeah, let me read about the Virgo one as well. Golden Palace, there is always enough. Aha, exactly. The upright position says, the Golden Palace card represents good fortune, ambitions fulfilled, wealth, and prosperity. It may also indicate emotional fulfillment, as perhaps you're entering a time of happiness that's long overdue. The message here is that self-worth isn't measured by what you have, no matter how abundant your life is. Instead, it comes from what you are, how authentically you're living your life, how much love you're willing to share. Granted, receiving this card does indicate material gain and the furthering of tangible rewards. But things come and go. Knowing your true value leads to even greater riches now. Share the wealth. Exactly. If you're trying to take care of this person, Virgo, and if it happens to all my fans out there who's watching this reading for, because this is a good video so far, you know about that sharing your wealth. It's basically you're letting them to share, but there's a way of how I'm going to express this. My expression is that if you are sharing the wealth, Virgo, sharing is caring, caring is sharing. But you believe that there is a two-way street. You go left and someone goes right. It's not that way where, if you're taking care of if there's a disability, if there's something wrong with the person who has a disability, if there's something wrong to another person who's a caretaker, whatever it is, Virgo, there is circumstances that you need to take your faith. Believe that you can do this. Believe that there's something that is very significant. But if it happens to a way of how it is unexpected, you have to know what's the worst case scenario. That's why when I'm making this video very clear to all my viewers out there, and if they are hearing about what's wrong and they give this video like and comment and all that, they could understand it could happen to them also. If you're being nagged, if you're being manipulative, if you're being un unusual or inappropriate or anything, you have to understand that you have to go flow, which means go slow, take your time. Everything can be provided. You have to know the privilege. You know how to get what you want, but you have to remember that you have to go slow. Slow and steady wins the race. But if you keep nagging and nagging and nagging and nagging and nagging, it keeps repeating. It keeps repeating itself. That's why it's hard time. That's why when you have all these things that are very significant, there are times where you need to believe that you can get this going rather than just sit on your butt and do nothing. You have things to do, great. But you can't stop nagging one person. You can't do that, Virgo. You can't. Because if you start nagging at that person, whether if you're a married woman, if you are a caretaker, if you are a parent, a grandmother, whatever it is, and you keep nagging and nagging and nagging, it will annoy that person. It will annoy them so hard that, I love when they say this in my videos, but I'm going to do it anyway. If it happens again, it'll say, I can't do this anymore. Which means that person will take off. See you later, Virgo. See you later. Have a nice day. Blah, blah. You know, I'm doing that as my sarcastic way. If you ever use sarcasm, look it up. But it's a good way to express your feelings. Because it happens. You have to understand that this is a well-balanced way of how it is. Overall, we're going to keep going through this reading so far, my viewers. But if it happens to a Virgo who's out there and annoys a Scorpio or nags a Scorpio, you have to get it through your mind. Know the concept. Know how everything can switch. Everything has to be knowing what to do, what to be expected, what to be involved with. This is very strange reading, but that's how it is. You have to remember, you have to believe on what's happening. Through the ins, through the outs, that's how it goes. But you have to believe that you can do this. There's a way of how you can take a chance. Believe that you can do it, a way of how it is. Understand how things are and well connected and blah 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 blah. You have to understand that. Let's keep going. So you see how this goes, okay? So the Virgo wants wealth, Scorpio is stuck in the mud, can't do anything, right? But now we know that we have something that's going on here. Now we know what's in the middle here. We don't know what's the middle here, right? There's something in the middle, right? Now, this is how it seems to be, okay? Now we know how it goes. Now, let's see how interesting this reading is a for a Scorpio and a Virgo. So we have this, that's very interesting. Then we're going to have this as well. So we have basically the top one, we have the Seven of Swords is upright. Ah, interesting. Then we have the Four of Swords is upright. And last one, we have the Six of Swords upright. Yeah, see? See how everything is very messed up? Yes. Because now the Four of Swords is like you're not sleeping, you're awake, you do whatever you want. This Seven of Swords is like saying I can't do this anymore. You know, if you look at the Six of Swords, there's something wrong in that picture. This is how it goes, right? There's lots of stuff happening, and there are times where you have to get it through your own system, believe that there's something wrong to this picture, right? And you believe about how it goes. Now, tell me what's the opposite of the Seven of Swords for Virgo, and what's the opposite of the Seven of Swords for Scorpio? This is why I'm making a video right now. Ah, the Eight of Swords is reversed. Interesting. Look, the Nine of Air is upright, but look at this. Now we have the Eight of Swords is reversed. Yeah, because we had conflict right now. Now we don't have conflict, right? So now there's that. This one over here on the left on the other one is the Seven of Swords is reversed. Yeah, see, Seven of Swords is upright, Seven of Swords reversed for Scorpio. See, Eight of Swords is upright, Eight of Swords is reversed, right? Between a Virgo and now Seven of Swords is reversed for a Scorpio, right? There's that, right? So you're not being abandoned. You're not doing that right now, not right now. So now you know how you understand about that system. Now we believe of how that goes, but we're not over yet. We're not. It's not over until it's over, right? So now we believe about this system of how it goes. So now we know, okay, what's the opposite of the Four of Swords reversed between a Scorpio and a Virgo? So we're going to do it on the left side, we're going to do it on the right side. So we have the King of Wands is up, right? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, for the Scorpio. And then the next one over by Virgo is, aha, the Ten of Swords reversed. Aha, yeah, see how it goes? Yeah, see? Now there's something interesting about this one, right? It's the way of how you can be unexpected. It's the way of how you can understand of how it goes sometimes, right? And this is how interesting this way of how it goes, right? You believe that you can do it, but you have to get the right way. So now we know exactly how it goes. Now what's the opposite of the Six of Swords for Scorpio? What's the opposite of this Six of Swords for Virgo? Alright, let's see. On the left side we have the Chariot is upright. Interesting. You could be looking for love, Scorpio. I'm so happy for you. You could do that as well. On the right side for Virgo, let's see how it goes. Ah, Eight of Cups is upright. Oh, interesting for you. interesting for you. You know, there are times where you can try to get the whole entire picture, Virgo and Scorpio. There are times where you have to desire what you want, desire that you can believe about how it goes. If you're the Eight of Cups, Virgo, and you're having alone time with yourself, there is a way of how you can concept your own feelings. And whether you're debating about how to reflect on how Scorpio's feeling, it's the way of how you can progress. You know, this is why that this is very significant on how it goes. Because in the way that this is very significant on this reading, Scorpio and Virgo, whether who's watching this video, you have to understand that this is between a two-way street. A two-way street means that there is a street, there are two ways to go down that street, but you have to meet up and do a compromise. Maybe have a negotiation, maybe you can have a talk. But there are things that you must learn in order to believe that you can do it, you know? Because in other ways, you have to think for yourself. You have to act what you want, Virgo. But you need to believe that if you back off and leave a Scorpio alone, you can do that. Whether if you are a Virgo, if you are either if you're a Virgo or Leo or anybody else, and if you are in a position where I am, yes, nagging is a complete unsettling feeling. You know, it happens. It happens when a person isn't happy right now. You know, it happens. It happens when you face your own fears and don't know what to do. You know, it's very challenging. Very challenging. So we're not over yet with this reading yet, but there are more cards to come. So now we're going to look at this and see what these oracles mean for Scorpio and a Virgo, because if Virgos like to watch this video, they should. If the Scorpio likes to watch this video, they should. So we're going to look at one of the reverse cards for Seven of Swords, and for a Virgo for the Eight of Swords is reversed as well. So we have basically that concept of what this oracle card means, and this is how it goes for now. So what's on the left side for a Scorpio? Trust the niggle. It's what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? Oh, that's a really good good card for that one. Okay. And what's the opposite for Virgo? Starseed, what lights you up? Ha 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 ha. Yeah, this is how challenging it is. Okay, Scorpio. Okay, Virgo. I'm kind of like laughing at a Virgo right now because this is how a concept is. So let's see what that card means for a Scorpio, shall we? I love it when I read out loud. It's great. So great. Because if it happens, then that's how it seems to be. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. I have to think where that is. So hang on, I'm just trying to. Okay, trust the niggle. Okay, so this is for Scorpio on the left side, and I'll read the on the right side for a Virgo who is likes to read this video when it's good. All right, so it says, what is niggling feeling trying to tell you? I don't know what that is, but I want to know what it means. The niggling feeling, that annoying niggling feeling, that inconvenient, annoying niggling feeling, try as you might, it is there. And it ain't going anywhere. Most people spend years ignoring their niggling feelings, throwing their best dollops of stubbornness. Oh, I like that word. Ego. And post rationalization to numb them out. It is exhausting. And until you face the niggle, life just throws you more bait to awaken it. To draw your attention to light within you that is bursting to come out. The niggle is an arrow pointing to what is standing in your way. The relationship, the conversation, the decision, the shift that needs to be made, the stone in your shoe. Often, we feel the niggling feeling in our body first. Many people think that intuition is something from the higher realms, but in fact, it is the body that is intuitive one, working through our senses to deliver vibrational information. It takes just a moment every day to scan your body to receive the intuitive intelligence and act on it quickly. You're being called to face the niggle now. If you don't face it, the universe will throw something much bigger and more obvious in your path. And then you will likely regret that you didn't answer the niggle in the first place. I know it's scary, but you're safe. Answer the niggle now. Work your light inquiry. What is niggling feeling trying to tell you? So, in a way that how that is, it's, being annoyed, being pressured, Scorpio, it happens. It happens when I'm making a video like this, and whoever's hearing me, basically what I'm telling you, it happens. You know, you always think that there's something wrong, right? And whenever you get overwhelmed, if there's something bothering you, if there's something wrong with you, you get to tell that person to back off. Backing off from a person who's nagging on you so many times to get your fully attention, but the person likes to procrastinate. It's a wonderful feeling, you know, because I'm going to tell you something, my viewers who would like to watch the video when this video uploads. Let me explain something to you. I have been there so many times, when I'm with my family members. Family members can actually manipulate you. They can be acting all nice, and then everything, all of a sudden, their energies change into negative. It happens with caregivers. It happens with grandparents. It happens with everywhere you can think of. I've been there so many times where, I say something and then something backfires. It's hard. it's hard to realize that there's something that is not working out, you know? And if it happens to a Virgo or it happens to a Scorpio like me, for example, you have to understand that there are times where whenever you tell someone to back off the way that you felt, even if you get angry at them, or you need to have some alone time. You know, you have to do things on your own rather than expect them to help you all 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days a week, Monday to Sunday. You know, it happens. It's a hard feeling. You know, if everyone's going through this and having a Virgo to nag at you all the time, it gets to a point about getting annoyed, getting frustrated, getting overwhelmed. You know, you have to appreciate someone. You can't make that person miserable. You know, it's like procrastinating. Procrastinating is a wonderful feeling. You know, I like to procrastinate. It's the way of how I can get, a person to back off away from me. Procrastinating is a wonderful feeling. You know, if you've been there so many times to procrastinate, and I'm going to give you an example. It's like procrastination about doing dishes. Everyone hates doing dishes. Everyone hates it. Everyone hates it. You know, and I basically hate it too. Because sometimes whenever dishes piling up like a mountain and they've been there for, 2 weeks or whatever, I do it my own time. Rather than having someone to tell me what to do and someone tells me to whatever. I hate that feeling. It's like someone have a remote and controlling you on a TV, switching channels, switching channels, switching channels. It happens. You know, and viewer, and my viewers, if you are watching this when the video is premiering, you have to understand that if you are in this position and if you have someone nagging on you every single time, it's inappropriate. It's the way of how you can try to think of something. You know, it's actually making me feeling like there's something wrong, and it is. It is wrong. Sometimes I read a person, whether if they are happy and they're fine, and yeah, 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 that's fine. But when a person nags at someone and it's the worst scenario, worst expecting the worst outcome there is, the person will get very frustrated at that person. The person will say, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything. I'm not going to be I don't I can't do this anymore. You know, and it happens so many ways because whether there's something that is very significant and you're expecting the worst case scenario, even if a person starts to get mad at that person, like, why you're not doing the dishes, why you're not taking the shower, why you're not doing, because the person will say to that person, say, back off, leave me alone. There's there, I need time alone. And whether you are living alone, you don't need someone to tell you what to do. You don't need someone to monitor you every 24 hours, 7 days a week. You know, because whenever you with whenever you live with a parent and you're younger and you get to that time where you did your dishes, you did your grocery shopping, you did whatever, your parents will not tell you what to do because if they keep doing it, then okay, go your room, okay, you're grounded, okay, you're going to you have all those problems, right? And it happens to all of us, whether we are young, old, even a senior, right? And there are ways that you have to consider the following. Considering the actions, considering how the worst case scenario. I'm a Scorpio for goodness sakes, because a Scorpio is hard to understand. Because a Scorpio can get angry, can get annoyed, can get there's lots of emotions that come from between happy and who knows, right? And I've been there so many times. You know, family members can do the same thing as if you are acting like a child, if you're acting like your 12-year-old, whatever. The person will realize that will tell them what to do every single time, every single time, and it keeps repeating all the time. Like, that's why you can't piss someone off. Like, to get their angry emotions, right? And I'm not trying to get angry at all my viewers who are watching this, no, or even me getting sad and emotional. No, I'm trying to, I'm doing what the cards are saying to me because it is truth, right? If a Virgo is expecting to do the worst, expecting the good stuff from a Scorpio, why would they keep nagging that person? That's a good question to ask because if the person keeps nagging all the time, that person will say, you know what, back off, leave me alone. There's nothing. That's why the person has to be waiting until it goes back. There's a system to it, and I'm going to call it my own system. It would be two steps back, one step forward. Because which means you're going to let the person who was nagging you earlier will start to back up slowly until they go back where they were. Because if you have a person who's acting, and every time when they watch movies, for example, and you see actors, you love them so much, right? But there's only one actor who gets you know being a bad person, being a bad guy and all that, right? People don't want to watch a person to be a bad guy, right? They want the people who are good. Well, it's like nagging. The person is acting like there's something wrong to that person, right? Because it happens. It happens to all of us, right? Because if you're just, sitting there on your butts and, having a good time and all that, that's great. But if it keeps nagging and nagging, nagging and it keeps repeating itself. You know, that's why when I make these videos for all my fans who are out there who are watching my videos, they enjoy the entertainment. And I'm doing it because it's the way of how I can do it. It's almost like a hobby to me, right? It's a hobby that I can do it, right? Rather than sitting on my butt and do nothing, right? Or it's like acting like a job, right? It's it makes me all happy. But if there are things that are trying to get you pissed off, you have to let them to be okay. Well, if you're going to be doing that, you can just back off away from me. I'll wait until you're done. Or you can just wait until I phone you. That's how it is. But if you keep nagging, what else you can do? Because procrastination is a wonderful feeling and I love it. I do, right? I've been there so many times. Procrastinating is a wonderful feeling, right? Because, you know, it happens, right? I love it. I absolutely do. It's the way of how I can be acting. But if there's a person who's keeps nagging all the time, do this, do that, do this, do that. It sounds like my own parents, for God's sakes. Like, and if you want to laugh, you can if you want. It happens one time. I'm doing something and I'm doing dishes and one time if you have a mother, okay. So, my mother sometimes comes in and all of a sudden she says something. She wouldn't say Zoe Alex, but she will say, my son, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that. It's like me being on a sailor ship. Okay, just imagine and do this, okay, pull up the anchor, okay, do this, okay, we're going to head south, blah blah. It happens, right? And you think, you know, it makes you want to say a bad word, but you can't. It happens. It really happens because, I don't like it when a person does that. Tell you what to do. Try to command you to do something. You know, if they want to tell you advice, go ahead. If they want to tell you a suggestion, go ahead. But they keep going and nagging you and blah 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 blah. What's the point? You know, this is why when I set up this whole entire reading for all my fans who are out there, they have to figure this out for themselves. Even if they are in a position, if you're in a Virgo situation or Scorpio situation, you have to believe that you can get this through. You know, if you're just doing nothing, if you are just, have a wonderful, significant way of how it is, right? It happens, you know, because whether you need to figure it out, you have to figure it out. Nobody won't help you until you need help. You know, it is true. It is true. Because when the person starts to nag, you add nagging to annoying. Annoying becomes the worst case scenario. You know, because it happens. It happens for a reason. And if it happens to a lot of things that are happening at once, you have everything that you have on your mind right now. So many. Like if you have 1 billion things are going through your mind, left, right, and center, oh, yeah, you would. But if you are thinking about there's something that is very significant and you keep plugging along and you have have a person that's stuck in your ear on your left side and your right side saying, do this, do that, do this, do that. It's annoying. You know, there are times where you can understand the feeling. If a person starts to nag, would you nag at them? Would you tell them to, you know, do the dishes, take a shower? No. A person should never say that. Would a person say, do this, do that, do this, do that? Would you do the same? Do this, do that, do that, you know? It happens for a reason. This is why that there is a way of how it is. This is why I'm doing what this reading is. It has to be a way of how you can be unexpected. And whether a person who's feeling nagged all the time, or a person starts to don't care anymore, you get the feeling. You get the feeling and think to yourself saying, why is that person procrastinating? Now you're getting it through your mind. Now you know, is it me or is it you? Right? Because the other words would be saying, it's not about you, right? It's not about me, it's about you. You take it as a chance. You take it as what happens. You know, this is why when I make a video like this, and whoever's watching my video when this video is premiering, you have to believe on what I'm saying. You have to know exactly about what's going to happen next. If you keep nagging all the time, and let's say, for example, the person doesn't want to do dishes or take a shower, or you have the worst case scenario. The person could leave without notice. The person could take a break without you being there. There's lots of things a person will not tell you because you keep nagging on them. Nagging is a negative feeling, and it probably is. But you can't sit on your butt and do nothing. If you have a person who starts to tell you what to do, even if it's acting like a mother, if it's acting like a caretaker, if it's acting like a person that you don't even know, why would they? You have to understand there are things you must learn first. You have to accept them. You have to believe how it is. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Think about how Scorpio's feeling right now, Virgo. Think about that. Think about the worst outcome. Think about how everything is kind of messed up. You believe about that. You believe that there is something that is very interesting of how that goes. You can't, if this is a big if a person who acts like that, why are you doing it to them? You have to understand, believe it or not, You have to understand. Now, let's continue with a Virgo of the star seed, because I'm going to look that up. Then I'll be doing one of the oracle cards over here as well, the playing cards, and then we're going to be almost end of the reading. Okay. So while you know about my nagging situation between a Scorpio and a Virgo, you get to the point. Now, let me see star seed of this here. Let's see. This is for Virgo for star seed, isn't it? Here we go. Star seed is what lights you up. It says star seeds are souls with a double mission to raise their own consciousness and the consciousness of the planet. They're old souls who have incarnated elsewhere beyond this planet. Many star seeds arrive with a feeling that time is running out and that there is something that they came here to do or create or contribute. If you pull this card, it is to confirm that you're a star seed and you're being encouraged to answer the call, to follow what lights you up. Once awake, most starseed souls find it hard to have meaningless conversations, jobs, and relationships. They intently know that there is much more to life, feel that there is something more, get to work. They remain restless until they step into their calling, which is to light up the world with their unique presence. Starseeds are scattered all over the planet, in hospitals, in schools, in slums and mansions, on stages, and in suites, well, suites, in parks and nightclubs, in taxis, and then in theme parks. Many starseeds spend parts of their lives trying to fit in or in some form of spiritual closet. If you're dimming your light to fit in, it is time that you stop and start embracing the unique light that you came here to share. Treat your time on earth like a glorious vacation. Work your light, inquire what lights you up. It's simple. Virgo, you can't, if you are, what lights you up? Okay, try to stay friendly to a Scorpio rather than piss them off, rather than acting who you are. Because whenever you are nagging at them all the time, it has to stop. Nagging is the worst case scenario there is. It's a negative feeling. Everyone doesn't want to go through it. I don't want to go through it. But there are times where there's a way of how you can do that. It happens, right? Like I say, it happens to a parent, caretaker, whatever it is. It has to stop. Because what's the point, right? What's the point on whether it is? It happens to all of us. It happens. But anyway, this is how that is for you. Okay, so now this is the time of the almost the ending part. We're going to look at what's happening through my oracle cards. I'm just gonna not going to read them. Oh, I didn't write this. This card is in 4. Yeah. But anyway, this is how it seems to be. So we're going to look at the oracle cards. I'm not going to read them out loud that I did the earlier ones, but we're going to look at what's happening between the Scorpio side and the Virgo side. And then I'll do the playing card situation, get that organized, and then basically you're almost going to be ending the video. So yeah, if it happens to you, Scorpio, if you're having a way of how this is, yeah, um, it's not good. And a Virgo, if you're acting like this, you know how the feeling is. So let's see what these oracle cards mean. And then we're going to do the playing cards, and then we're going to almost end of the video soon for the last oracle reading, oracle card that I have over here on this side, playing card, end video. So we have on the left side for Scorpio is Awakening Genius. That's a good one for you. So I'm just going to put it over here for you. And on the Virgo side, we have Smoke and Mirrors. Yeah, you have to look at your own reflection, Virgo. Look at that. Look at how it seems to be for you, okay? That's how it goes, okay? Let's see for the Oracle cards that I will understand how this is. So let's see. Let's see how it goes, shall we? So for a Scorpio and for a Virgo, this is how it goes for those. So on the Scorpio side, you have relationships. Aha. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Interesting. Yes, relationships. It happens, right? It happens. And the Virgo side, this is interesting for Virgo. Abundance. I'm limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. You know, this is how you can do that, Virgo. You know, because when you are having this circumstance between a Scorpio who's our relationships, and if you're having abundance with a Scorpio, why would you do that? Why would you keep nagging on that person? Why you keep annoying them? You know, it's very interesting. And it happens. It happens where everything's to be interesting. You know, and every time when I say about that, money is a good source, but it's not. It's an evil thing. It's a bad thing, right? But if you keep attacking, if you keep doing what you do, it's not good. Really not good. Because, you know, there are times where the worst case scenario, worst case, worst case, it's not worth it. You have to believe that this is a well balanced. You have to believe that you can do this. You have to understand that. You have to understand about this feeling. It happens. You know, this is why of how it is. Acting like there's something like there's no problem, but there is a problem. It happens because if you're not getting what you want, you need to back off. You know, it happens. And this reading is true, by the way. It happens. So we have relationships abundance between the left side and right side. Um, I'll do what's in the middle, and then I'll do the playing card, and then end the video. But this is how it is, right? So what's after of the abundance? Okay, let's see. First one, we have love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. That's a good one right there, right? It's how it is, right? The middle card that you're going to see, gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. That's how it is, yeah? And last one, doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. That's how it is, right? Because it happens to that. And I'll read one more for that one, for the last oracle reading, and then I'll do the playing card, and that's who's following you and blah 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 between a Scorpio and a Virgo. So let's see. Let's see how it is. Oh, let's see what doubt means. Or release the need to know all the answers, it says for this card. It's impossible for the human brain to comprehend the mysteries of the universe. You're only consciously aware of the three dimensions for a reason. That is to learn to love without the full awareness of your connection to spirit. Everyone has his or her own personal path to this awareness. There is no right or wrong answer as long as your goal is to manifest the energy of love and compassion. The wisdom of the divine trickles into the physical dimension. Some of it will renaissance with your soul, and some will not. These are your signposts that guide you to your correct path. If the wisdom renaissance with you and seems right, then keep it. If not, release it back to the universe. Always be aware and mindful of the insights that your spirit guides and teachers put on your path. That's how it goes. That's what it seems to be. All right, now the playing cards. All right, so I haven't see what is going on. Let's see who's following you. Scorpio and Virgo. Alright. First one, Ten of Hearts, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Middle one, Two of Clubs, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Last one, Nine of Spades, represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius for air signs. So you have that. Yeah, that's how it goes. I know that this is a long reading, but enjoy what I have to say. Because, in other words, you have to believe, you have to understand, you have to believe how it goes, and that's how it seems to be. Because it is what it is. And you can't change it, you can't. But I hope that this reading helps you. I hope that you understand my examples, and that's how it goes. So if you are in the same way, and you know how it seems to be, understand. Understand what nagging is. Very much. Have a good day to all. Thank you. Bye for now.